Hi guys, I'm back. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Sarah. I'm a mindset mastery coach, transformational hypnotherapist, and attachment style specialist. In today's video, I'm covering 5 things that I would tell myself, my heartbroken, absolutely devastated self right after the breakup with my dismissive avoidant partner. So stay tuned to the end because you won't want to miss all of these tips. And the majority of you, the majority of my clients, the comments that I receive on here are people experiencing absolute devastation after a discard or dismissal from the dismissive avoidant partner. And a lot of you have been blindsided as well. So I want to really speak to that pain, and I want to address it in a way that I'm now 6 months out of this experience, having had a conversation 2 days ago with my soon-to-be ex-husband, and I feel phenomenal, and here's why. So let's dive right in. If you would like a free discovery call, I offer 20-minute discovery calls. And this is for people who are serious about working with me and really serious about transforming their pain into something else. So recovering from this experience, stopping the ruminating thoughts and the obsessive thoughts about this partner, not worrying about what they're doing, who they're with, but focusing on you and truly moving forward. Okay, so let's start with these 5 things. Number 5, I would tell my previous devastated, heartbroken self that it's going to be okay. And I know this sounds sort of simple, right? It sounds very simplistic to say that. But here's why I'm including that. It doesn't feel like it's going to be okay in that moment. It feels like your world has ended or the rug has been ripped out from underneath you. And for a lot of you, maybe you didn't even have an argument. This was the argument to end all arguments. You had one argument or one disagreement, or you voiced your opinion, or you asked to have your needs heard or seen or met or understood. And that was enough for this partner who was tallying up the icks in their mind for months or years to suddenly leave. In that moment, your partner deactivated. They left the relationship. It's like they detached from their emotions, guys. They are detached. There's a reason why in the beginning they appear differently. And if you want to learn about that, I have a lot of videos on that on my channel as to why the dismissive avoidant is so attentive and loving in the beginning and why they change and why this is so different towards the end of the relationship as things are ending, because it seems like you're dealing with a stranger. So I would tell myself it's going to be okay. Now, keep in mind that I was moving almost 3,000 miles away from my husband. I was leaving my stepson. I was leaving the marital home. I was leaving my marriage, and I was choosing myself. I was done with self-abandoning. Now, to be in all transparency, he was the one that initiated the divorce, as is typically the case with a dismissive avoidant. But I was the one who executed the leaving of the marital home. Now, it was his house before we got married. And it really never felt like my house, because that's sort of what happens when you're dealing with a dismissive avoidant. I always felt like a stranger in a strange land. And I always sort of felt like I didn't belong, like I was an extension of him. And over time, that really makes somebody resentful. And I was living in the desert, guys. I'm from Florida. I'm a beach girl or a mountain girl or both in my perfect world. So that version of me that existed, that was able to somehow exist in the desert, she doesn't exist anymore. And I can honestly tell you from this place, from this vantage point, I would never go back. I would never go back to that place. I would never go back to living there. And I would never sacrifice my happiness for a title or a label or anything ever again. So I would tell myself it's going to be okay, that you're going to come out of this eventually on the other side with so much clarity about what happened. Number 4, I would have compassion. Now hear me out. I would have compassion for myself and compassion for my partner. I wasn't able to have that compassion at the time because I was in way too much emotional pain. But looking back, if I had the capacity, which honestly, I'm not sure that I did, but if you think you have the capacity, because I'm creating this video to help you guys out there, have compassion for this person. That doesn't mean going back. It doesn't mean self-abandoning any more than you already have. What it means is have compassion. See this from a higher perspective. See this from an eagle's eye view. The eagle would not judge. The ego would accept. The ego says, I see everything. I see the emotional pain. I see the inner child that's wounded. I see the defective wound and the shame wound in this individual. I see that they want love so badly, but then they push it away out of their own fears and mistrust of love. They do not trust it. They do not understand it, and they do not know how to connect with it at a deeper level. So in that moment, I would tell myself, connect in deeper with yourself. Get really grounded and rooted in yourself. Number 3, I would tell myself to go no contact. I have a whole video on this, guys. I'll link it below. I would tell myself to go no contact. Why? Because it's healing. And you have to do this from, again, a higher consciousness. Remember, when you're suffering from heartbreak, you're actually in a lower consciousness state. When you are able to travel to that higher consciousness state, you're able to see things again from a different perspective. And I would go no contact, because going no contact has done wonders for my self-esteem. It's done wonders for my growth and my healing. It's done wonders for me being able to provide you guys with these videos, because suddenly my energy has shifted back to myself. I've claimed my power. I've taken my power back and brought it to myself. And I can do this without hurting him or hurting anybody. This is not about doing this to make them jealous. This is not about doing this to add more pain. Let me tell you guys something. That person is already in pain. That DA is already, when they've deactivated and they've gone their way, and for a while things seem great, right? Because they feel relief initially. But then that passes and they feel great remorse and regret for their behavior and actions, for their flippancy and the quickness with which they, just ejected themselves from that relationship and left you high and dry. They don't need any more pain on top of the pain they're already feeling. They are feeling enough pain. That's not your job. It's not our job to make people feel more pain. It's our job to take care of ourselves. I would go no contact as soon as possible. Like, business things aside, right? Taxes aside, the divorce proceedings aside, I would go no contact. Number 2, I would not reach out to that person for validation. I did that. I'm telling you things, guys, I would do differently to have made the process smoother and easier for me, so that hopefully you can take my advice and heed my advice and do things differently in your situation. You're going to minimize the pain that you feel. I would absolutely 100% not advocate for, sorry guys, I had a brain fart, so I'm back. I would absolutely not seek out validation from that person. That person cannot offer validation, especially in that place of deactivation. When they've deactivated from that relationship, there is nothing on earth. I don't care how beautiful you are, how smart you are, how much money you have. You're not going to convince that person that this is worth pursuing, that you are worth pursuing. Do not take it personally. That person has their own stuff to work through, their own shit to work through. So when you seek validation from anything outside of yourself, you're setting yourself up for disaster and failure. And you're also giving your power away. And in that moment, in that phase, you're actually pushing the DA further away. I can tell you that the moment, and again, I don't say this is not advice how to get your ex back. I am not that coach. That is bullshit and it's manipulative. But what I can say is that in that moment where I reached out to him and I, reached out pretending, to need help or assistance with, oh, can you give me that recipe? What I was really doing was I was seeking validation, and I gave my power away, and that pushed him further away. What would have worked better would be for me to just go quiet, not seek that validation from him, somebody who's empty enough inside, and somebody who's already decided in their mind, guys, they've decided this is over, that's it, I'm done. Like, this is not something that I want to pursue anymore. They have decided that you guys are not a good match, that you guys are like, it was doomed from the start, this is not going to go anywhere, and they may even be looking elsewhere already, trying to get the next fix. So don't do that to yourself. Create your own validation. Go to therapy, hire somebody like me. I don't know, go for a run, go for a swim, journal, give back to yourself, Do something that's gonna fill yourself up. Love yourself more than you loved that person. And then lastly, number one, the advice I would give to my heartbroken, devastated self in that moment where I had been broken up with, where my husband had asked for divorce, is I would tend to that inner child. I would tend to that inner child within that needs and wants, but mostly, more importantly, needs my love and my attention and my devotion and my loyalty and my consistency and my presence more than anything else. The number one thing you can do is tend to your inner child. This cycle with this person, this pattern that is inevitably repeated in all of your relationships, if you really truly are honest with yourself and transparent with yourself, do that shadow work so you can be that and do that with yourself, what you're gonna discover is that this all is rooted in childhood. It all goes back to childhood. We think we're in love with this person. We think we're attached to this person. We mistake attachment for love. Your inner child, that wounded inner child matched with their wounded inner child. Your nervous system that was dysfunctional, okay, and totally out of whack, matched with their out of whack nervous system. This is what really truly transpired and happened when you guys met. And then things got serious and things got real, and suddenly that person could not deliver on what they promised. They truly wanted to, but they couldn't. So tend to your inner child. This means self-forgiveness. Eventually, having compassion for them and forgiving them would be wonderful, but first and foremost, work on forgiving yourself and work on bringing that inner child into your everyday life and letting the adult you be the one who's in charge. Now, if you don't know where to start or how to do that, I can help with that. That's what I do in my sessions. And I also have a free workshop coming up on April 22nd. I'll post the links below. There's a free Zoom link. You do have to register for that. And what else? I think that's it. There's more that I could say, but I wanted to keep it to 5 things for the sake of this video, to keep it concise, because we all have short attention spans in 2025. This is the world that we've created with the technology that we have at our hands. So please drop a like, share, subscribe. It all greatly helps the channel organically grow. And thank you so much, guys, for being here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take good care.